hey, hey. Hey. I don't know what the hell my problem is. Howdy, hey, everybody. It's SK. I'm level 58. I've been kind of playing some Ascension WoW kind of off stream for... I mean, look, today's my day off. I had to do a couple of... Actually, I had to go... Well, not my day off. It's my weekend off. Probably one of the last weekends off I'm going to get, so I want to enjoy it and, you know, be productive while I have the chance, which is clearly why I've been playing this for the last 7 hours. I'm actually level 58. Right now there's a 2-time EXP event going on because I guess shit done crashed and broke and all that kind of stuff. I guess they had to migrate to new servers or something because the other ones were basically hot garbage, and one single raid was causing like untenable levels of lag. So they, I think some sort of hardware failure happened. They moved stuff over. Sargeras was fine because lull, but I guess Anderhall had some sort of like crash and burn shit going on, and they had to roll back for like a day or something like that. So there's a double EXP going on for the next couple of... Ah! Nuggetfogger makes my mouth tiny! Shut up, I'm easily amused. Silence churl, I am easily amused. But yeah, there's like a double EXP thing. You know what, I don't know if this bothers you, but it kind of bothers me that on the Twitch chat side of things you can see my cursor, which is basically just hanging in the center of my character at all times. But, so yeah, I'm like midway through level 58. I would like to try and hit 60, and I'm fighting the whole, like, about to hit my goal blues type thing, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm the kind of person where I get super obsessively into something if there's a goal I want to reach, but as soon as I get really close to that goal, you know, if I'm like 95% of the way to that goal, that's usually the point where I'm like, I don't feel like doing it anymore. And it's stupid and it doesn't make any sense, but that's just usually the prevailing thought process, is that I'll get so close to that goal and just be like, this isn't interesting anymore. You know, the chase has been won in my head for all intents and purposes, even though it hasn't. But that's kind of how I roll sometimes, and there we go. But, yeah. I want a title. What the fuck? Icon has title, please? No? Oops. But hey, I got a stat stick weapon. Something dropped that gives me 9 agility and 4 stamina and a chance to strike your ranged target with a shadow bolt for 13 and 19 damage. A target enter with a shadow bolt for 13 and boat. A shadow boat. Not a bolt, a boat. I shoot this, and every so often I just randomly shoot a boat at it, because that's baller. But yeah, I'm liking my build so far. Let's see if this works again. The mismatched transmog is killing me. It's not a transmog! It's what I'm wearing. And yes, I look like a hobo clown, but that's just kind of the way it rolls sometimes. But it's pretty baller, like... The funny thing is I actually, I guess somebody in my guild said that they were searching for the Wall of the Dead, which is like that epic shield something something that dropped. They'd been farming for it for hours, and I've had 2 drop. The last 2 sessions I've played, I've seen 2 drop. I gave one to that person, the other one I just have sitting on the auction house. Well, yeah, I mean, I think this server actually has a transmog option. I'm just lazy and don't feel like unlocking it yet. Because, again, I look like a hobo clown. I don't have anything worth keeping. I just love the fact that my mount is so tiny. But yeah, I got like the shining. What? I mean, I don't want the shining because I don't want red rum, you know, and blood pouring out of the walls and shit. That's just hell to clean up out of the carpet. But I'm liking my build so far. I've got the whole like shaman thing going on. It's very proc based. Now that I actually have all of my spells, it's surprisingly like proc based. I'm waiting for Maelstrom weapon to pop so I can use Lightning Bolt, and I'm waiting for Art of War to proc so I can get my free exorcisms, and, you know, basically filling in between with Earth Shock and Lava Lash and all that kind of stuff. I've heard that Lava Lash is actually not that great in most scenarios, but I mean, thus far it's I don't know. It's proven to be at least a decent filler, and considering the fact that I want to use at least some Flame Tongue to boost up my magic damage, which will boost up lightning bolt. I mean, because words. Even though I do a lot of like melee, even though I'm a melee-based unit, or character, or whatever the fuck you want to call me, you know, a lot of most of my damage is through spell damage. Like, you know, my damage is through, which, I mean, I think this is physical damage. Storm Strike is. Judgment is. Seal something something purple monkey dishwasher. What the hell does Seal of Command do? Seal of Command, yo, what do you do? Yeah, like, Seal of Command is holy damage. Lava Lash is weapon damage, but it's increased by 25% if I have Flame Tongue. A lot of my damage is from Exorcism and Hammer of Wrath, and at this point, Lightning Bolt. So, I mean, I have a lot of magic-related abilities, too. And I'm almost tempted to actually go double Flame Tongue weapon, since I dual wield and everything. That way I can get an extra boost of... I can't even remember how much spell power this gives, but if that's 249, it gives me, I'm guessing, it can't be 200, because that's partially my attack, the something, like my enhancement shaman talent. That gives me attack value by 100% of my intellect, yippee skippy. But this one that gives me, shush, talent guide. That it gives me, reduces my shaman spells by 10%, increases your bonus spell damage by amount equal to 20% of your attack power. So I'm sure, I'm so tiny, I love it. Like if I would just do this, and then do double Flame Tongue. I went from whatever the fuck, 249 to 281, so I mean, I guess, so that would be like an extra 40 spell power. Yeah, I guess, okay. I guess that's, like, not the most fantastic thing of all time. But hey, man, 40 spell power is 40 spell power, and the Flame Tongue damage is really not that bad. It's pretty decent. Especially when it's being done, I mean, it's only auto attacks, which kind of hurts it a little bit, whereas Frostband seems to proc on literally fucking everything, which is overpowered, and I goddamn love it. Still wish they hadn't nerfed the shit out of Wind Fury, though. That can only be used on auto attacks, so it should actually be, you know, suitably powerful. You know, let Frostbrand be powerful for people that use a lot of abilities. Okay, so are we there yet? Why did the music stop playing? Why? Why is there no music? Alright, I'm getting a little bit weirded out here. There's supposed to be music. Hello? There it is. Are we there, Yeti? I don't know, bitch, are we? Okay. I love the fact that I'm like 2 feet tall. It's great. I mean, especially here because, you know, it's pixels and polygons and all that kind of stuff, and I don't actually have to deal with any of the difficulties of being unreasonably diminutive. Diminutive? I don't know. I don't know how the hell that word is pronounced. Thick Yeti fur. But, like, for real, where is... I can has Yeti, please. I can has Yeti, please? Oh, I'm back to regular size now. Sad face. So, Rainy, how's life working for you? That was a stupid sentence. How's everything going? There you go. You know, I want to murder you because I can. I like it when things fall over. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Seemed a little bit disingenuous to the intelligent people who have accents of this inclination. Hot diggity damn that crit though. But seriously, Yetis, where the hell are you at? I know there was some south. But I thought there was some, like, right the hell around here. Or is that just the boom chickens? Okay, maybe it's just the boom chickens then. I like this zone. It's pretty. And it's not Dumora, which makes it, like, 20 times better. You know what I realized? It's just Everlook doesn't have music for some reason. Which is really weird. It's supposed to have like goblin music of some kind. Signed? Words? Blah, blah, blah. Furbog man. Am I killing furbogs over here too? I totally am. Sup? How you doing? Hey, remember me, motherfucker? I couldn't find any of you beforehand. If I'd known this is where you were hiding, I'd have come here earlier. Surprise, motherfucker. Where the rest of you bitches at? Oh, now it's only den watchers. Alright, that's cool. I'm not bothered by this in the slightest. Somebody's gonna know my damn wrath, one way or another. Are you really telling me that I can't pass around this because this is like on the other side of Fuck You Mountain? Of course it is. And why is it all den watchers? That shit out, bitches. Oh my god, it actually is all den watchers. I'd known that, I definitely would have come here first. What's up, baby? I'm only gonna kill you. Ow, fucker, you hurt. I don't like that. So we're gonna fix that problem right quick. Were those any of the things that I needed to kill? I don't think they were. One thing I like about Maelstrom Weapon versus Art of War is that the What's-a-Madoodle has a much longer, like, proc rate. It's 30 seconds, whereas Art of War is just 15. Which means I can do shit like that. Stop kicking my ass, son! I'm coming to the realization that those spells cost a lot of fucking mana. Like, a lot of fucking mana. So if I were to do this in a group setting, I would definitely need some kind of... Ah, shit, muffins. What's up? Random horde dude. How's it going? Yeah. That's a lot of mana. But thank you, Random Horde, for not immediately murdering me. I appreciate that, because that dude had an epic... What the fuck? What are you doing? You dick? Cut that out. If you would be so kind. How many of these bitches do I need to kill? Oh, hey, Mr. Elite, sir. I was not paying attention to exactly who and what you were, but that's fine, because it seems like I'm about to kill you. I mean, you know, cool, I guess. Get fucking wrecked. Oh, you're also an elite. That's cool. If you could cut that shit out. Thank you. I actually have to use a bandage. God, that sounds like the most arrogant shit of all time. Also, yeah, that dude was an elite. Was not even... Oh yeah, that's right, he is an elite. I completely forgot about that. Oh yeah. But yeah, if I want to go full-on AoE in groups, I'm gonna have to bring a lot of water with me. That shit's expensive. And I don't think it's necessarily consecration, I think it's magma totem. Because that's where a lot of that shit's getting pretty redonkulous. That restores 25% of my mana. 98. So yeah, that thing is almost 400 mana, so that's about almost 1/4 of my mana bar just on one spell. So to be fair, the magma totem hits fucking hard. Do I have any more friends? I can has friends now? I has Den Watchers. I have lots of fucking Den Watchers. Also, I really like this talent that makes my judgments 40-yard range. That's pretty sweet, especially with Frostband. That's not OP at all, she said slyly. Knowing full well how goddamn broken it was. Where you at? Three Shaman, 3 Ursa. Is there anything in the camp left? I have successfully managed to murder this entire camp. Alright. Yay, genocide. Okay, guess I'm moving on to Yeti Town. And I'll come back to this later. Is there a way I can get to Yeti Town through here? Or do I actually have to go run all the way fuck around Everlook? I can get up over this mountain, right? That's what horses are made for, right? Like, just strictly apparently not. Huzzah! Oh yeah! I forgot you bitches were up here! Thanks for the reminder! Hey buddy. I'm gonna kill you. What do you mean you're already in the... Whatever. Game does some weird shit sometimes. Can you stop parrying, you dick? Let me use that so it doesn't waste space. Still need 3 more shaman. Oh, well, I can wait for them to respawn. Now that I have remembered that this particular path exists, I can just kind of bounce between the two at will. Actually, you know what? If I take good care to, you know, space out my 2 mana gainers here, i.e. Judgment and Stormstrike, I'm doing a pretty good job of keeping mana neutral even without water shield. It's just the fun part gets when I start having to spam AoE shit, which means that I may not even necessarily need water shield. Though admittedly, it's real fucking nice to have. It's real nice to have. Excuse me? Give me your furs, you bastards. You got them. I'm not setting you on fire that much. Hey, buddy. I wonder if this is one of those things where... And this is part of my push to actually get to level 60 is... So I'm not really much of a, you know, hardcore min-maxy type. I'm really not. But I'm so fascinated by the idea of how I can better this particular build. You know, what actually works best for it. Because right now I have something that you can see now that I have the respective spells. I find it very fun. You know, it's very responsive and very proc-based. And there's a lot, quote-unquote, to manage between maintaining, you know, maintaining those procs, maintaining the stacks, trying to stay mana neutral, etc., etc. Because I'm guessing that I don't want to actually pop any of those nature-related procs until I have a Storm Strike debuff up. Because otherwise, it's just... It's not optimal. Give me all of your hides. I demand sacrifice. I really need to stop using that unless I need to. Or that is, I need to use a mana eating skill before using that, otherwise the mana that's been gained is kind of useless. Oh, wrong button. Buttons are hard. Buttons are hard. Buttons are really hard. Like, I almost want to switch between having... Like, Storm Strike on 3, have Lightning Bolt on 3. Have Exorcism on... This is gonna make my brain hurt. I already know it. But damn it, I'm gonna try it. It's so bad I'm actually attempting to min-max, like, my fucking button placement. Because that's sensible. I.e., Storm Strike, well, maybe not proc, but, you know, Storm Strike is nature on 3, Shift 3 is my, my nature damagey spells type stuff, McJigs. That's a sentence, sure, alright. And I'm very happy that I actually decided to ignore every hint of logic in my brain and still go with that improved cooldown time for Exorcism, because that actually seems to make this much more responsive than it would otherwise. Because, I mean, otherwise it's a nice, awesome instant cast spell, but it has a 15-second cooldown, which means that you're not really using it as much as you could be using it. Because with what I have right here, it's proccing so goddamn much that a lot of the procs are actually wasted. Whereas with the 10-second cooldown, I'm not really wasting, because it's a 15-second duration. That was kind of silly pants. You know, it's a 15-second duration, but it's only a 10-second cooldown, so if I have one proc immediately after my last, you know, Exorcism has been used, I still have a way, even if I even if I don't crit again within the duration of that Art of War proc, I still have a chance to use that proc. It's not completely wasted, whereas a 15-second duration and cooldown, it is just, you know, you have to use it for healing because you won't be able to use it before the proc wears off, basically. Or the cool, that is to say, before it comes off the cool. Ah, fucking words, they suck. And I suck at them. Huzzah. But so far I haven't put water shield on. In quite some time now. And I feel like I'm doing pretty okay. Okay, shit 3. And there's a part of me that really enjoys the idea of having this sort of melee hybrid build that is really equal parts physical damage and magical damage, and I have to manage my mana so that way I can be, you know, an unstoppable killing machine of death and despair, but I can't go completely hog wild because that was just certain death and oomage and all that good stuff. Maybe I'm just a punk. I don't know. Come here, buddy. You guys are okay, good. I was gonna say they haven't respawned yet. That's crazy pants. Oh hey, you got friends. How's it going? So, I kind of wish I didn't have to use it for that specifically, but them's the berries. That's not the button I wanted to press, but okay. Now, as you can see, that cost me a lot of mana. So pulling this type of stuff can be... AoE situations are super dangerous, basically. Also, healing myself. But both of these put together basically means it means I get 45% of my mana back pretty much immediately. So every 8 seconds, you know, even if I have to use them both together, that means every 8 seconds I get 45% of my base mana back. Because I don't have any additional intellect anywhere. I don't have any intellect on my gear, so my base mana is my mana pool. So every 8 seconds I get 45% of my mana back, and all I need to do is not fucking blow it in those 8 seconds. Oh, shiza Manelli. How's it going, buddy? Hold on a sec. There we go. Prepare to meet thy doom. Do me, do me, do me. Hey, buddy. That's not the button I wanted to press. Come here. Come play in the holy fire. No? Okay. That's cool. I can make it work. Alright, so let's run around for a Bog Town back to Yeti Town. Hopefully the Yetis have respawned by this point. Where are we going? So I'm nice and fat and happy right now. So if you guys have never heard of Jason's Deli, you have my apologies because it's fucking delicious. To be fair, I haven't heard of Jason's Deli until I moved down to Texas. It kind of didn't exist in Maryland. And, it's really good food. And their fucking baked potatoes are like the size of my head. Well, they're not the size of my head. They're probably like maybe the size of half of my head. But they're fucking big, okay? They're big-ass baked potatoes, and they actually taste like baked potatoes and not something that was, you know, sitting under a fat lady for an extended period of time that passed for warmth. And, you know, I've had some bad baked potatoes in my past, you know what I'm saying? So I need to get them manas back. Not that mana, dem manas, of course. I'm almost tempted to give up Hemo, because I'm not really using it for anything. And maybe even, I don't want to give up Earth Shock, because that's a nice... Because otherwise, the only long-range spell I have is... Well, I'll have Exorcism, Lightning Bolt, and Judgment of Light. So Judgment of Light would be my only, like, on-demand, long-range... damage McJiggy stuffs. And I like the idea of having it. Because I'm 5, I guess. I don't know. Alrighty, time to get that AoE goodness on. So how's it going? How you doing, buddy? How you doing, Tiger? So give me all of your hides. And again, I kind of wish I hadn't been using this a little bit more efficiently. But now that I've gotten this, my build pretty much complete, I kind of like it. I mean, it took a while to get it here because literally most of my spells were in the, you know, 50 plus range. So I've basically been running... Before level 40, I had something like... I swear to God, I had like 7 talent points, just a consistent... Well, even by like level 50, I would just have basically like a consistent, just like 7 talent points that I'm not using for anything. Hey, Max Helm, how you doing today? And I mean, and it was kind of that way by design because all of my talents are in late trees. So this is definitely... Fucker, that's not the button I wanted to press. So as you can see, like I have a lot of talent points, you know, in 40 plus town. I mean, that's 40, like 50 plus, really. I mean, the whole crux of it is Maelstrom weapon. Do I have a nope. Poops. Is Maelstrom weapon improved? Like, the big things are Storm Strike, improved Storm Strike, Maelstrom weapon, and Judgments of the Wise. Those are like the cruxes, and I guess Art of War as well, but that was just something I kind of came up with on the fly. I was like, hey, this can give me instant cast heals, neato petito, and then I'm like, hey, cool, I can use Exorcism. But a crux of most of my abilities is stuff that's in, you know, the 40 to 50 plus range, so it's not really a build that kind of comes together until a lot later. But I'm really enjoying the hell out of it now. I'm not too bad, can't complain, enjoying my weekend off. Because I'm a nerd. Nerd! That kind of hurts doing that. Don't you slow me, butch. Bitch. Where you going? Where you going? There you go. Get that debuff. See, I don't know if that debuff actually... Non-periodic nature damage spells and abilities are increased by 20%. I mean, that is not an easy thing to just... You don't just ignore an additional 20% to your damage, you know what I mean? Warlocks would be just, you know, having all sorts of fangasms if they had something that increased 20% of spell damage, or spell damage across the board, or shadow damage across the board, whatever. So, question. I have 2 enraged wildkins in here. Okay. You see this? Does anyone have any idea why I have enraged wildkin in here twice? Because there's that. And then there's that. So it's like this... It's like the server had a shit fit and didn't realize that I didn't turn in the previous quest to get the next quest, and it's doing some real funky shit, man. It's doing some real funky shit. But it's cool. I like my build. It's pretty. Well, yeah, I know the objectives are different, but they're actually... Oh god, what did I do? What have I done? Buttons. Did some... Oh, that must have been a shadow. God damn it, Beavis! Try this again. Yeah, but this is supposed to be the first part of this quest where you speak with Jaren Stoneshaper. And this is, like... They're part of a quest chain. I don't understand why... Like, why? I don't... They're different... Like, one precedes the other, so I don't understand why. Like, I'm confused! I don't get it. It's not supposed to do that. Also, where the fuck is this bear I need to kill? I need to kill Urson Man. Urson Man. People who were never fortunate enough to see condom commercials of the 90s will not understand that joke. That was silly pants. I'm really tempted to get rid of Hemo. It's the only thing I have for... that uses energy. And for that reason alone, I kind of want to keep it, but as it is, I already have enough things on my ability bar that I kind of need to cover. Right now, Hemo is basically literally just the occasional filler. I'm not really using it all that often. In fact, I'm almost making a point of not using it because I want to keep up the rotation of between Lava Lash. Because right now, I mean, I could use Hemo. It increases physical damage up to 21, 10 charges, 15 seconds, etc., etc. Cool, that increases my physical damage. But Lava Lash does... I mean, granted, Hemorrhage is supposed to be used if you have a dagger. You know, it does 145% damage if a dagger is equipped. I don't have a dagger. I'm not intending to use a dagger because I'm doing the whole Shaman thing, which means I need a really slow one-handed weapon, so can't use that. Right now, this is basically dealing 125% damage and fire damage on top of it. So there's no reason for me to really... And I mean, granted, it has like a 6-second cooldown, but all things told, for all the other abilities that I'm using... You know, I'm weaving, you know, by the time I'm done using all of these other abilities, Lava Lash should be up, or you know, I'm waiting 2 seconds tops. I'm auto attacking. I'd rather wait for cooldowns than, like, mana. There it is. Okay, so yeah, the game super fucking bugged out. It's super bugged out. Because I should have been able to do that and talk to, like, this dude, but for some reason it let me actually take the other quest before... Yeah, that's some weird shit. I has a confusion. But seriously, where the fuck is this bear? Buttons? You define me and I don't like it. He roams the sloping hills at the northwest of Everlook. Find him and hunt him. Okay, well, there's only one sloping hill to the west of Everlook. And I have attempted to hunt him to no avail because the motherfucker doesn't exist. What's with the multicolored maps? Huh? Oh, the fact that this is kind of like blue and it's... And, yeah. Because that's actually an option in Mapster where instead of it... an option where if I don't enable fog clear, those things just don't show up on the map. Because these are parts of the zone that I have not discovered yet. The thing is, I have fog clear because, like, that's just irritating. It's one thing if I haven't played through WoW yet. Like, I tend not to have that showing, like when Legion first released. You know, the add-ons I had on there, I didn't turn on the fog clear because I wanted to explore everything first. But once I did that, I have it enabled for all my alts because, fuck's sake, like, I hate not having access to a map. I played Final Fantasy XI for too many years to deal with that business. You parry me, bitch? How dare you, good sir? And I mean, Lava Lash crits for a damn decent amount of damage. Does it go as fire damage? No, it's weapon damage. Alright. So I'm assuming when it says weapon damage, it means physical damage, right? Like, it's not altered by spell power and all that good stuff. That was silly pants. Again, I keep oopsing and forgetting to hold off on my my nature damage stuff. Yeah, I mean, I heard that there was going to go mobile like 2 years ago, and I guess only now they're finally getting around to doing it. I mean, to be fair, they're trying to port Final Fantasy XI to a mobile device, and like, vaya con huevos, more power to you, because holy butt muffins. But seriously, where the fuck is this bear? I mean, that's a big game to try and change. Granted, the game's, you know, 15 years old, so at this point it probably can play on a cell phone. But it's not, It's a... I mean, granted, like, I'm kind of torn on it, because, one, assuming it's not by some shady, shitty developer, which I haven't heard the greatest things about the people that were contracted to put it onto mobile platforms, unfortunately. You know, there's still... What am I doing? Why am I running this way? It's still, like, a big game that requires a lot of time. And yes, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like you can... It's simple enough that you can kind of do it on your cell phone in between other things, or, you know, spend 20 minutes running to from one place to another, etc., etc. And it's not really super intensive. So, yeah, you could probably get away with doing it mobile-wise, but just... I really don't know how it's going to work. Is the only way I can really word it. I don't know how it's going to work. But yes, I heard it was going mobile. Because I heard them announce it sometime in like 2015 and then just nothing. Hold up. Give me that mountain silver sage. Those glorious reset. Server reset herbs. That you never see again. Sup? Did you actually, like... There we go. I was like, what the fuck? Did you actually resist my wind shock? How dare you? I think I would do good single target DPS if I can remember what my quote-unquote rotation is. What's up, guys? What's up, Whelpman? How to do, Whelperinos? Boasting 10 million players? I mean, I'd believe it. I'd say right now that Final Fantasy XIV is doing a better job of being WoW than WoW is. You know, for one, it's listening to its player base. Which is the big thing. It's not... Because, don't get me wrong, I like Blizzard as a company. I like Warcraft, you know, I've liked StarCraft, I've liked their products. But right now, I think a lot of the leadership that they have is... They've... I don't want to say they fell victim to their own success, but they're getting too comfortable with the idea of things being successes. I mean, obviously I don't know about the inner workings of the way the company works, but just some of the things that we've heard in cons and some of the decisions that they've made, and some of the, not even just some of the decisions, but some of the reactions that they've had to some, what I think would be valid criticisms, have been kind of unduly dismissive, perhaps. And yes, I'm talking about the whole you think you do but you don't is kind of the chief example of it, but even beyond that, a lot of... It's just, they've gotten more and more like, oh, no, we're the professionals. We're the professional game designers. You're just the gamers. You don't... Well, actually, no, gamers... A lot of times, customers don't really know what they want until they see it, but once they see it, they know they want it. You know what I mean? The customer can be an uneducated fucking moron, but you can never let them think that they're an uneducated moron, because the moment they feel like that they don't have your respect as whatever business venture you're doing, it doesn't matter if it's game development, if it's retail, if it's jewelry, if it's repair work, whatever, the moment the customer thinks that the moment the customer thinks that they're being disrespected, they will leave, like, without even a shadow of a doubt, to be like, because the thing that drives customers away more than anything would not necessarily be problems. You know, goodwill can go a long way in the face of a lot of drastic issues, like, you know, this server's going down, or, you know, account mishaps or whatever. But the thing that will make a customer leave faster than anything else is perceived disrespect. You know, that you don't value their business, you don't value their money, that people, you know, and as much as I bitch about retail, and I do bitch about retail constantly, because people are fucking idiots, at the end of the day, I do understand and respect the fact that, you know, if somebody is coming into the store that I work at, you know, they're taking time out of their day, they're spending money on gas, they're spending time in traffic, you know, they're taking time out of the day to come to this particular store that I'm at to try and do something that is important enough for them to want to get into a car and drive X amount of miles and deal with X amount of headaches just to get this item. So yes, that is you do have to bear that in mind and be respectful and mindful of that, and you don't want to throw that in somebody's face and, well, you know, it's not, you know, you're just, you know, you're just not that important, but 1,000 more will replace you. Well, yeah, I mean, technically that's true. You know, you get the odd customer that you're like, oh, well, fuck you, you're not that important. Yeah, sure, that one customer may not be important, but if we're talking like, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. So the company I work at has like 1,000 stores, right? So yeah, you piss off one customer and they leave and they don't come back, whatever, big deal, like who gives a shit, right? Okay, well imagine that happens in every single one of those stores. Oh, that's 1,000 customers. You know, it's 1,000 stores. You get thousands of people. Okay, well imagine you lose one customer like that a day in every store. That goes from one customer to 365,000 customers that you have lost in a year. That number is a lot bigger, and all of a sudden, when you look at it from that perspective, that's staggering. You're just like, oh, like that's like getting a punch in the gut that you've turned away 300, you know, that across a large company, 365,000 people have sworn to never come back to your store again because of 100,000 different reasons. But really, all you need to do is give them one. So, it's a balancing act, and it's very important to, and I mean, again, I work retail, so I get the luxury, and I work retail management, so I get the luxury of dealing with some exceptionally shitty customers, and there are plenty of times where the customer, again, is flat out fucking wrong, and you want to just wring their neck and tell them they're a goddamn idiot and just get out of the store and don't come back. You know, here's 20 for a cab, get out of my face. But you can't go down that road, because if you do, you know, and I mean, it's like what you're saying though, Bill, you know, or what you're kind of saying. I misread it. There's something else. There's, you know, plus people, there's the whole word of mouth thing, you know. A customer that had a good experience will go and tell 5 people. A customer that had a bad experience will go and tell 10 people. You know, a person who has a bad experience is way more likely to tell people that they had a bad experience than someone who had a good experience. Because the person who has been wronged, the person who was angry, the person who has felt they've been disrespected, they want, not necessarily vengeance, but they want justice. They want restitution. They want to make sure that nobody, you know, that nobody has to deal with the same thing. So this place is a fucking shithole. I don't want to, you know, like, don't ever go there, because they're, you know, it's human nature. So, you know, Final Fantasy XIV having that many people, you know, I'm not surprised in the slightest, mainly because, again, Final Fantasy XIV, like, 1.0, oh shit, this is a fucking escort quest, I should have paid attention, I read what was going on. You know, Final Fantasy Final Fantasy XIV, the OG version was an absolute fucking dumpster fire. Like, it was an unmitigated disaster, and I mean, it very, very, very much tarnished, you know, Square Enix's reputation. Where, I mean, they were the laughing stock, and I mean, they were one of the first, you know, the big heavy hitters of the MMO genre before World of Warcraft came out. You know, Final Fantasy XI was very, very successful before, you know, WoW basically rewrote the books on what it means to be successful in the MMO genre. You know, and for that to be such a big budget, you know, a really big budget, high dollar value, premium style game to be just such a turd failure, you know, it, you know, I mean, and I got to give a lot of respect to Square Enix, because, you know, there are not a lot of companies, big budget or small budget, that would have looked at that kind of failure and been, you know, and would have owned up to it. They would have been like, well, screw this, you know. They may have just closed their doors or just dealt with a broken game, or, you know, quietly hidden shame, but they were the ones that were actually said, you know what, our game is fucked up, and we're going to fix it, and we're going to make sure that if you want to play this game monthly, you're not going to pay for it until we think it's fixed. You know, that's not a lot of companies would do that, and I think it taught their team, at least the team that replaced them, it taught that team a lot about humility. So them earning the things that they've got is because they had to win those customers back. You know, a lot of the customers that play Final Fantasy, maybe not a lot, but a lot of the players that played Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 never came back for A Realm Reborn, because it was so bad that they were just like, I'm never touching this game again. So they had to really, you know, fight tooth and nail to get what they wanted back, because it was such a train wreck that they really had to fight tooth and nail. Blizzard hasn't had that. you know, they've been very, very lucky. I mean, granted, that's because Blizzard is very, very strict on what they consider quote-unquote ready. I mean, that's one of the reasons they don't have many IPs, is because they'll spend years and years and years working on a game, and they won't release it until they feel it's, you know, ready TM. You know, that's one of their things. Having said that, again, at least when it comes to WoW, they've made some decisions that I don't know if I necessarily... Oh, am I supposed to touch this? Well, shit. They've made decisions that, again, can come across as fairly dismissive, or they've made comments that do come across as dismissive. They come across as the disgruntled retail customer that doesn't really give a shit if you don't like working there. That, you know, excuse me, the disgruntled retail doesn't really give a shit if you're shopping there and not. They're like, yeah, go fine, go ahead and leave. Kiss my ass. Go to another store. I don't fucking care. You know, and again, coming as somebody who works in retail and has worked in retail for years now, you know, it's okay to think that. There's nothing wrong, and, you know, I would be worried if you didn't think that, especially about some of the special folks that you get, you know, in the Blizzard community, in the BNet. I mean, there's a reason, you know, Blizzard players were called BNet kitties back in the day, because they were just, like, cancerous. But, I would be surprised if they didn't think, like, go fuck yourself, get out of my face. But when those employees, and especially when the senior developers start kind of showing that level of dismissiveness, sort of like, well, you think you do, but you don't, you know, again, you can think that, you can know, maybe not even think, you can know that the customer is dead wrong, but you can't ever tell them that. You can't ever make them feel that, because the moment you tell them that they're wrong, they're going to say, okay, well, that's fine, I'll find a place where I'm right. And they'll walk out the door and not come back, and you'll never see them again. That's true, yeah. I finally had a chance to read your sentence, because I just went through a rant. That, yeah, all the people that built WoW from the ground up are gone. Metzen went to another project. Or no, Metzen is gone. Morhaime is kind of got promoted out of the, you know, world building. He's way higher up in the... I mean, he's basically the CEO now. So he's not really involved. You know, Pardo's out. You know, a lot of the old guard are kind of gone. And I mean, in a way that can be good, having fresh blood, you know, can really help invigorate and give a different sense of what it means. And I think that, at least in terms of Legion, in some ways that did help, because having that fresh perspective, you know, Legion definitely feels different than say Warlords of Draenor, which was a shit pile. You know, there is, you know, they did really kind of go to the drawing board and do a lot of very just different, sort of almost quote-unquote daring ideas, you know, in terms of storytelling and in terms of lore and in terms of just a lot of the way that they're presenting storyline in particular. And I can appreciate that. The thing you got to be careful about is when you have new blood like that, you know, and it's the same for everybody. Again, and this is something where I've worked retail, but these life lessons are the same in pretty much any kind of business, in any sort of field, where you get the young ones that have a lot of potential, a lot of talent, a lot of vision, a lot of energy, and they basically think they're hot shit. You know, they're basically high off their own farts, sort of thing, and they have a lot of vision, and they're very headstrong, and you know, and this is the way we need to do it, not realizing that, you know, somebody 20 years older than you probably tried that already, and it didn't work for the reasons you're about to find out. And you're not listening to them because, oh, what the fuck do they know? They're old fogies, yada, yada, yada. Well, maybe not, but certain things are done a certain way for a certain reason sometimes. Is that always the case? I mean, you always need to try new things, but there are certain, you know, sometimes things are done for a good reason, you know what I mean? But I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about at this point. I'm ranting now. Take a break to breathe. But why? Half the fun is talking to the point where I run out of breath, so I basically sound like I'm, you know, having an asthma attack. I am being slightly sarcastic, by the way. You know, Wait till MLP, but I don't want to go any further because I hate WOD, and I don't want to go through the Legion content for the 100th time, so I'm thinking about something sticking with... Well, yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. Again, I mean, I'm still kind of actively subbed to WoW. I have been for the past couple of months, and it's just, like, you know, like, for instance, 7.3 drop, right? I saw the cutscene. Coolest fucking thing ever, right? I mean, Illidan's been kind of like a dickbag the entire time. I mean, just even before he was brought back to life, I kind of just wanted to punch him in the throat. But in this particular instance with this cutscene, he was 100% in the right, and I cannot fault him in the slightest for, you know, nuking Inaru in the face because she was a goddamn self-righteous chandelier that said I had to repent for killing a man that was basically trying to murder me from afar. But, you know, whatever. Fucking bitch. But then I'm like, yeah, that's fucking awesome. I'm gonna go play the game. I log in and I'm just like, oh, it's the order hall. Yeah, it's dailies, and then I just log off. Like, there's nothing... Like, it looks like it's the funnest game I don't want to play. You know? Does that make any sense? Like, I want to play it. I really do. It looks like it's so awesome, and I love the lore, and I love what they're doing story-wise, and, you know, I really enjoy the way that they've done stuff. It's just... I mean, it's, especially at this point, it's like... Because I've spent so much time away from the expansion and there's so much shit that they've added that I just feel like I'm too far behind at this point. I mean, I know I'm not, literally, because they add like 5 million catch-up mechanics. But I just... It's like coming back into the middle of an RPG or back in the middle of a book after you haven't read it for, you know, 6 months. And then you start reading and you're like, wait, what the fuck is happening? Who is this character? Why is this here? And it can be so disorienting to... figure out what the hell is going on that you get discouraged from going any further. You could start from scratch, yeah, but if it's a particular... But if you're reading like a fucking Stephen King book, or if you're playing like an 80-hour long RPG, you don't want to start from the beginning because you've already gotten this far, so usually I just stop playing. You know, it's not to say I don't want to wait to the next expansion. I don't really know if I want to buy the next expansion, you know what I mean? I enjoyed the shit out of Legion the first 2 months, and then I was just kind of like, meh... I must find a way to light it. Well, that was quick. I got totems. Yeah, buddy. So anyway, why do I have Dwarven totems and not like the Draenei totems? So kudos to this server for having this scripted. Can I click? Let me click! That is starting on a character, you, and you just being there in the background. Well, that's the thing. WoW always had you just being sort of like a background grunt, not really anybody central to the story until Legion. And unfortunately, I think they super overdid it in Legion, where you went from being central to the story to being like the fucking second coming of Christ, and it's just... Like, it was too much. It was too much of a, you know, 180-degree turn. It was kind of jarring that you went from basically being a scrub in the eyes of the game sort of deal to being, you know, the wielder of the Ashbringer. You were the chosen successor. And I'm like, it doesn't really... And it doesn't kind of feel right. And I mean, granted, yes, you destroyed Deathwing, you killed the Lich King, etc., etc., but you didn't in lore. You know, you may have been helping... assault these areas, but you didn't actually, you know, partake in the major battles sort of deal. Hello, Claylock! How are you doing today? Remember what we've shown you. I literally did not read a single thing you ladies said, so here's hoping that wasn't actually important. Oh. Well, I hope you get some sleep, Claylock. I mean, by the time you hit 60, I may have a second person to 60 at this point. I didn't even have to fight anything? Shit, I dropped my totems for nothing. Alright. Oh well, I finished that quest. I wasn't trying to even start the quest, but cool. I was like, hey, cool, a quest. Oh, it's an escort. Okay. That's cool. I don't want to murder you. Apparently you're good and you've just gone crazy because you think I'm bad or something. I don't know. Sweet baby Jesus. Don't you nuke me, asshole. I can has druid. Thank you. So where are his supplies? Are these the supplies? Didn't I get the supplies? Excuse me? Oh. I knew that. Dark Whisper Gorge. Fantastic. But Claylock, you should be playing sometime in the next, like, 12 hours or so, because right now they're running a double EXP weekend. Well, I guess it ends tomorrow sometime in, like, another 12 hours or so. Also, because the server died for, like, an hour today. And I think they had to do a short rollback. I don't think it was very long. It may have been just, like, 5 minutes or something like that. But something freaked the fuck out. Where, oh, where is the Dark Whisper Gorge? It's that huge hole in the ground. Good old Dark Whisper. Remember when Dark Whisper Gorge was actually in Winter Spring and not Hyjal? Pepperidge Farm remembers those days. Those days were bitching, because I could get some mad fucking thorium down here. You know, it felt good to go through that rant. I haven't done one of those in a while. Nice. Ah, it's alright, man. You have a good night. Sleep well. I hope you get some kind of rest. All of the post-restart herbs. Give them to me. I desire them. Even though I'm out of bank space at this point. I gotta level up my cooking skill. Luck be with you. Can I murder you? Let's find out. Level 60. Let's go. Oh shit, you hit hard. Oh, these bitches hit real hard. I mean, you know, they're fucking elite demons. Of course they're gonna hit hard. Having said that, ow. Can you stop that shit, sir? Give me, there we go. Luckily enough, I have this. Art of War is a really nice for sort of soloing, whereas I'm using this primarily for dealing damage or just keeping myself from dying in the most horrible way imaginable. Like this. Please help, please heal me. Oh, thank God. Thank you, Maelstrom procs. Get fucked, I just killed a 60 elite by myself. What? Now to run away and never step foot in that area again. Alright. Yeah, Final Fantasy XIV is much slower combat because of that longer global cooldown. And actually, yes, I'd hazard to agree that Final Fantasy XIV, especially at this point, is a superior product. It's more engaging, and again, it shows more respect and deference to its customers. It has more challenging content. It has more varied content. It has a lot more established, quote-unquote, lore that it can pull from different games to do. That it can kind of remix however it sees fit. It's not to the point that they're rehashing things, because being that Final Fantasy has always kind of taking different twists on different characters. You know, you can be like, oh, I wonder when they're going to add this character. I wonder when they're going to do this. And, you know, whereas in WoW, it's kind of like, oh, hey, they brought Illidan back. Oh, hey, we're going to Outland again. Oh, hey, it's Ragnaros with legs. Okay. That's pretty cool. You know, and it's just kind of like, meh. How the fuck do I get down here again? I can't remember. I mean, other than jumping my death, which is not what I'm going for. I want to say it's over here somewhere. And also, I think the another thing that I think is super important is that the Final Fantasy XIV community and just the Final Fantasy community in general is way, 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 way less toxic. I mean, you're going to get your assholes because that's just how the internet is. And again, you're going to get shitty customers because that's just how customers are. You're going to get a bunch of different people. And a lot of times you're going to get people you don't like. Oh, that's over that way. Fuck. Can I run over that way without getting killed? Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Please don't murder me. It hurts so good. I also realized I had very little mana. That's probably not ideal. Oh god, Jesus, it hurts. You hurt. You hurt real bad. You hurt real bad, son. Oh, Jesus. Bye. He's out, fool. Yes, please don't aggro my totems. So they punt. Okay. Oh, I'm dead. I mean, that's one way to get to the base of it. I tried to catch the ledge, and I guess there was no ledge. Okay. Don't you fail fish me. I had a good idea, I just failed in execution, that's all. Oh, do I think I can kill him? Maybe. Let's use these damn bandages I have about 5 billion of. And drink some of the waters I have an additional 5 billion of. Increases the critical strike chance of your Fire Blast, Scorch, Arcane Blast, and Cone of Cold spells. I mean, I think pole arms are bad. At this point, I don't even remember. I remember being such a badass coming down here on my freshly dinged DK and just being like, fuck yeah, I can solo you bitches, get wrecked. Oh, you hurt so bad. You hurt so good. So I definitely need to keep water shield up for these motherfuckers. For real. Yep. And basically, at the moment, fuck the procs. Because I am using these to stay alive. This is a survival tool right now. This is a pure fucking survival tool right here. Ow, motherfucker. I really could have used that ability to, like, not die, please. Did you stop healing yourself, you bastard? Amber Wrath, fuck yes. Fuck you, demon. Giant small thing of frost. Oh, oh, oh. Ow. Now that right there is a challenge. Come here, buddy. Ow. So yes, these are being used for heals first. Heals first and always. Because they hurt like a bitch and a half. Ow, dick. Owie. So, thank you, Maelstrom Weapon, for allowing me to survive. Appreciative of that. Like, at this point, I am using Maelstrom Weapon almost purely for healing, because it's the one doing a lot of damage. Like, a shit ton of damage relative, maybe not relative to Lightning Bolt, but it's, or because Healing Wave is the one doing a lot of healing and allowing me to survive a very imminent death. Okay, so they hit hard. But I like this build because I can take on something that would otherwise fucking three-shot me. And it's a challenge. This is the type of stuff that I loved about WoW back in the day, was actually being able to take on elites and be like, these guys can kick my ass, but I'm going to take it slow and I'm going to murder them. That was the thing that made Feral Druid so much fun in vanilla. Was very slowly killing elites. Fuck you, I'm not hurting to ever look. That's a waste. I can run back and get free herbs, yo. Yo, yo. Ooh. Speaking of which. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. I still also love the fact that all the quote-unquote heroes are just druid classes. It just makes me smile. Because I'm scum. I'm the scum druid. You know, the funny thing, while the server was down today, I had actually hopped over to, I think, like, Kronos or something, or just, no, it wasn't Kronos, and started playing on the druid character I had there, and it felt so, like, slow and plodding. Not because, I mean, it was partially because it's vanilla, but just because I was like, oh, I only have druid spells on here. Oh, it's only a druid, like, it's not my shaman. I've become attached to my shaman now. I've become attached to the little class that I have created here. Which I still, and again, part of my big draw is I want to get to level 60 and actually test this shit out to see how I can, like, fine-tune the spells and abilities and all that kind of stuff. Excuse me. Allergies. Also, I'm running into a wall. I probably should have muted, but, you know, I had both hands to do the little toot-toot, so I didn't want to get boogies on my microphone. That's why I turned away. Man, it's amazing how much more lively I am when I have caffeine coursing through my bloodstream. I like the ground, it's pretty. And I've seen plenty of people who are playing on this with, like, the WOD texture pack. I'm just like, meh. But you don't understand. I don't really like, I mean, the WOD textures aren't bad, I don't like the way they handled the Night Elves. I mean, they aren't bad, just their faces. The face of my character does not look like my character, and it bothers me. And, oh, dagnabbit.
Keep it real. How are you? Good to meet you.
So go between 6231. 31 and 64, 24. Oh, this thing fucking lies. That's why I couldn't find it. Unless it wants me to go into that cave. Maybe that's why I came from. But it says over the slopes of, you know, Mount Kilimanjaro or what the fuck ever. God damn it, Max. Why did you tell me that? Now I can't. Now I'm never going to unsee the whole freaking horse with a mohawk. God damn it. Horse with a mohawk. I mean, you're not wrong. It does look like a horse with a mohawk, but damn it. Are you the... No, you're not. God damn it. Oh yes, I'm thankful for that. There you are, you clever little bitch. I was wondering where the fuck you went. Oh, give me all of those fucking procs. No suffering. You know how many times I ran in the wrong place because the game didn't tell me where you were? Making me actually look for things, or more likely just cheat and look it up online. But this place was my fucking jam back in vanilla. This is what I would do. I would farm the Shard Tooth and the Ravagers for their skins and use them to make Warbear woolies, and I would sell them on the auction house for a fair, decent chunk of money. And I would do that. And that was pretty much a majority of how I made my gold to get my epic mount. Like, it was... I'm trying to think. How the hell... Because it was a majority of Warbear woolies, which I had to get from the Timber Mall. I had to get honored with them first. Because before that, and I distinctly remember this, the first one I made was the Shadow Skin Bracers. Was it Shadow Skin Bracers? They were like the level 23 blue bracers that had a shit ton of agility for their level. I think it may have been Twink Gear or something like that. No, those were the ones that were in the 40s because you needed the Shadow Maw Panther hides. But there were ones where you could get... You can make... There were level 23 bracers that kind of look like the head. I remember the icon. That's the worst part. I remember the icon as clear as day. I just can't remember the name of them. I made those for... I actually stopped leveling midway through level, like, mid-30s or so, and actually just farmed in Arathi Highlands. And I actually think I got a level or so out of that, just farming raptors in Arathi Highlands for their teeth and their skin. Because it was raptor skin, and it was raptor claw? So raptor claw? Whatever it was. Whatever the hell those things need, because I had planned it out. I had actually looked at the fucking, like, how much they went for. They sold for like 23 gold a pop. So I broke down all of the materials required for it, and I was like, okay, so if I only spend 1 gold for this and 50 silver for that and all that kind of stuff, and factor in, you know, the cost of putting it up in the auction house, I'll still, you know, this is what it costs for me to break even and all that good stuff. And I did that, and then it was the shadow something gloves, I think, and then it was Warbear woolies. Making those got me to, hey bitches, I'm level 59. Double EXP, FTW. FT the fucking W, yo. Yo, yo. Oh, I need to get, like, a healing totem. Because I still have the fucking water totem. This does not... The Blessing of Wisdom is overwritten by this. So... If somebody has Blessing of Wisdom, Mana Spring Totem is literally useless. Healing Stream Totem, however, is not. I mean, I like the Mana Spring Totem because I don't have to cast fucking Blessing of Wisdom on literally everybody. That means I can have effectively Blessing of Might and Blessing of Wisdom at the same time. I was gonna get myself Healing Spring Totem. Fuck. Where the hell is Rogue's safe fall? Is that combat or is that subtlety? Subtlety. See, that means... Oh, I never got Tremor Totem, did I? Oh, but Tremor Totem, though. Fuck that. Tremor Totem is, like, super useful. Now, granted, it's not like the Kata version of Tremor Totem where you can drop it after you're feared. But still, I mean, fear, charm, and sleep effects. That's a pretty nice... I can also get Cleanse. I was looking at this earlier. I could also get Cleanse as well, removing poison, disease, and magic effect. Look at Fear Ward. But that's like 1 time per 3 minutes. I could also get Pally Bubble, because lol, Pally Bubble. I kind of want Tremor Totem, though. I'm gonna be honest. I'm getting Tremor Totem. Fuck it. There we go. So, let me just sell the fucking water totem. Because I'm never using it. Water totem. So I'm 90% certain that one of the things I'm going to have to do when I actually start the whole gearing process is that I will absolutely need to get a totem of some kind. Like in the relic slot, so that way I can... That's 3 extra pieces of bag space that I can use. Okay, some strange sources. Up here? Nope. So I'm turning in Ursus of the Shadowtooth, like... Why? Game. Guide, you make weird decisions. Thank you! Belated reading of the Grats. Thank you, I appreciate it. Like I said, the double EXP is going on, so I'm making that mad EXP dough. Because otherwise I would probably still be like... Probably like 56 or maybe through 57 at this point. And what is my plate anyway? I don't even know if this is like quote-unquote legitimate anymore. I may actually make it in right under 25 hours. You know what I just realized? With this double experience thing, I haven't even gone to the Plaguelands yet. Like, I haven't touched either of the Plaguelands yet. I also haven't touched the Blasted Lands either. Where's the Burning Steps? No, it's the Burning Steps. Because I went through the Searing Gorge. I haven't gone through Burning Steps yet. And Burning Steps was like level 50 area. Did I skip something? Hang on a second. Yeah, this actually skips... This skips Blasted Lands entirely. I didn't realize that. This leveling guide just skips Blasted Lands completely. Oh, shit. Oh, well. It also seems to, I mean, at this point it's going to be skipping Western and Eastern Plaguelands, so fucking sweet. That's like Gank Central. Besides, I can get Lore Master. I can't get Lore Master. I can get Lore Master of Eastern Kingdoms and Lore Master of Kalimdor, though. Actually, I don't know. Can I get Lore Master of Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor? Some of these quests are bugged. Alright, Denova.
Great to meet you.
I mean, that's actually way better than what I'm wearing.
You're back.
Because I have like the shittiest green cloak known to man.
What's on your mind? Off with you.
Alright, let's see if this quest exists. Or if this one's bugged. Here. See, I'm reading the damn chat and people talking about bandits. Well, yeah, I mean, like straight up OG vanilla was... It was a fight to get certain things done, you know? I mean, I'd gotten... The thing that gets me is that on fucking... Not Valhalla. On Valkyrie, you know, I got a level 49 druid on there. And it hurts a little bit to have to start over. And I mean, I was on like fucking a trip where I was on like 5 or 6 different servers. I started on Emerald Dream and was kind of like, oh, this is kind of weird. This doesn't really work exactly, but you know, private server, lols, whatever. Found Rebirth, really liked that, got in the mid-30s and leveled pretty quickly in the mid-30s. Then they did the whole DDoSing thing and that was just a rigmarole. Found Valkyrie, played on Valkyrie for a while. Got to like the mid to late 30s. Nostalrius dropped, got into the mid 30s. They opened a PvE server, got a character into the mid 30s, then deleted and started over for some reason. I'm not really sure why. It was one of those weird whim things. I don't think. Well, I don't think it definitely doesn't make any damn sense. Excuse me, Hellbeast? Spreckens a what, bitch? Who do you think you are, good sir? But, you know, tried that. Chronos released, I was kind of like, I'll try that for a while. Got a character on there until, like... Actually, I think I got a character there on the mid-30s, too, and also deleted that right around the same time as that. I don't fucking know what was going through my head. I think I was doing the whole... enamored with the idea of a YouTube Let's Play for some reason, and I don't fucking know. But yeah, Nostalrius went down, I played on Chronos for a while. And I was like, meh. I didn't feel like starting over because I deleted and started over and I wasn't really sure why. Again, I don't remember. And then I went back to the... Tried going back and forth on Rebirth, and because of all of the issues they had with DDoSing and VPNs and all that shit, I couldn't. Went back to Valkyrie for a while, got to like level 49, and I got to level 49, I actually respec to balance. I leveled as a fucking Umkin from like level 38 to 49, and that was painful. Jesus Christ, that was painful. Now I remember why I didn't do that. Well, I did, but I did it on a Tyrant Druid. But anyway. You know, and that server started going down because I talked about Elysian. I'm like, cool, maybe I can get both of my druids back. I didn't. I only got the one from Nostalrius, and apparently salvaging the one from Valkyrie was too difficult. even though they still literally had all the character information. They were just kind of like, this isn't profitable enough, flush. And at that point, I was just kind of like, man, I'll just, like, play anything other than WoW right now. Well, yeah, I mean, that's part of why, you know, the one douchebag that says you think you do, but you don't. I mean, the worst part about it is what he said is that he wasn't necessarily wrong, is that you think you do, but you don't. It's really, nostalgia is a very, very powerful thing to have. And there can be some very powerful nostalgia for something. You may absolutely love something until you try to go back to it, and then you realize you're like, oh, yeah. You know, that's the whole rose-tinted goggles in play, where there's just a lot of things about vanilla that's just fucking janky, man. Like, a lot of the UI developments that we're used to, even from Burning Crusade, like, auto-loot. Auto-loot didn't, you know, in vanilla, there wasn't an automatic auto-loot. You had to hold a modifier in order to auto-loot. You had to manually loot. You know, like, what? You had to hold the shift key. You had to shift right-click in order to auto-loot stuff. Why? You know, like, you couldn't, there, you know, mouse over macros didn't exist. You couldn't, you know, auto-casting wasn't necessarily, like, you had to go into an interface option and enable that. That wasn't just automatically enabled. You had to have, you know, it was enabled, it was defaulted to, a modifier key, which is stupid. Just default to auto-casting on yourself if you don't have a target. Like, why would you not want to heal? Like, why would you not want to heal to auto-target onto yourself if you don't have anyone targeted? Like, what's, like, literally, what's the point? And, I mean, I'm not even talking about, like, the balancing issues. There are some specs and just straight-up classes that are just fucking broken. Like, pallies are just there. You know, they have literally 2 spells they can attack you with. It's just auto-attack and hope nobody kills you, you know. Shaman were kind of, you know, the Wind Fury mechanic was fucking broken. I don't think they deserve the nerfing that they got, all things told, because they got nerfed hard going into Burning Crusade. But I don't, well, I mean, that's, I can buy that. These quests we have to wait for, like, quest spawns are a bitch. You know, but I mean, vanilla was fucking jank, man. You know, looking back upon it, Wrath of the Lich King does have probably the best mix of, like, user utility and, you know, recognizability. There are a lot of people that got lost in Cataclysm because so much changed that the world that they had come to know was no longer there. I mean, the questing system was just more enjoyable across the board. I kind of wish that it took a little bit longer, that, you know, you wouldn't have vastly out-leveled zones before you were done with them. Sort of deal. But I can kind of understand why, because otherwise, you know, it was about 1 to 85, not about 1 to 60. It's just the leveling felt weird that you were going, even without heirlooms or quested experience, you were still out-leveling questing zones before you were done with them, and it meant that, you know, you weren't really, you know, it didn't feel, the leveling curve didn't feel as natural 1 to 60 as it did 80 to 85, for example. Which sucks, because I do think the leveling was, like, pretty much vastly superior. I mean, this, you know, part of the reason I'm enjoying this right now is because I can go back in time and remember all the different leveling paths that we did, and, you know, I do miss some of the aspects where, you know, you get a quest in Tanaris that takes you to Tanaris that takes you to, like, Hinterlands, and quests that take you back and forth, and you kind of have to plan the route accordingly, and that's cool in some instances. But there were a lot of quests for that, where you had to, you know, I'd say probably about a third of the quests that you get after level 20 are quests that take you to different parts of the zone. Excuse me, that take you to, like, different continents. And then you have to turn it back in there, you know, and the quest is, okay, so now you've gotten those things in Hinterlands, so now you need to go to Booty Bay. And it was just, you know, it was a little bit overkill. So, I mean, both sides have their pros and cons, you know what I mean? And besides, it, you know, the whole weird leveling, like the leveling curve aside, the leveling was more enjoyable, though. You know, it wasn't as much as, okay, kill these mobs for drops. And, you know, it was, you saw more vehicle mechanics, you saw more actual storyline, like plot elements, you know. Some of them were hit and miss, like Red Ridge, you know, like the human starter zones used to have a really cool story, like an overarching story about how Nixie was basically fucking them all over by refusing aid and making them get mad at Stormwind for not helping them when she was actually the one causing it. And they all kind of got, well, Westfall got replaced by a cool story, though it ended with the town being on fire and it just, like, never stopped. I was hoping they'd put the fire out at some point. You know, Duskwood had an interesting sort of, like, fallout of, hey, this is how this quest was. You know, the old Legend of Stalvin quest chain, this is kind of like the fallout of it. I kind of like the callback, though. I did miss that sort of mystery element, and, you know, they didn't really say in Cataclysm what Stalvin actually did. So for people who hadn't played WoW and hadn't done the Legend of Stalvin quest beforehand, they may not understand just how, like, fucking heinous that quest was, when you're just like, wow, this dude, like, murdered an entire family because, you know, their 14-year-old daughter, you know, didn't want the D. You know what I mean? Like, it was a really fucked up story. I feel bad for Red Ridge, though, because Red Ridge didn't really have much of a story, but the fact that it basically got turned into a, what am I trying to say here? That it got kind of turned into one giant Rambo reference was unfortunate. Same thing with Oldham, where it got turned into one giant Harrison Jones, like one giant Indiana Jones reference, and it just, that kind of stuff, it's fine to you know, harp on that kind of joke and beat that kind of drum, but I mean, they beat it to fucking death. It's nice to have a quest chain. Don't revolve an entire zone around it, though. That's just, like, it's just going too far, you know? That's when somebody needs to bop you in the head and say, no. Bad designer. Bad. It was when it takes parody too far. It's, you know, parody still has to be self-aware enough to know when to stop parodying, because when it becomes that blatant, it's just like, ha ha ha, we're making fun of this. Hey guys, you see we're making fun of this? See, look, we're making a callback. We're referencing this. Isn't this cool because we're referencing it? It's a total reference. You should like that. Like, shut the fuck up. It's stop. You know, when it becomes that blatant, it's no longer funny or relevant or cool. It just becomes annoying. Okay, fuck this quest. Because somebody's also doing this quest, which means that these things aren't going to spawn for a long fucking time. But seriously, fuck that quest. I love how everyone has, like, the welfare pally horse. But don't get me wrong, I love my welfare Powie horse? Pally horse. Welfare pally horse for life. Guys, I'm almost level 60. Isn't that fucking awesome? I'm probably not going to be doing anything after I hit level 60. I'm probably going to be turning it off and going to bed, to be honest, because I've actually been playing since, like, noon. Not like 12:30. I came back from work around that point. And it's my day off, but I did have to stop into work to drop something off. My bad. Companions. I mean, I've got almost 20% crit at level 59. I feel pretty okay with this. I don't really know how much hit rating I need also, since I have that 4% chance to hit from literally everything. I'm assuming I still need hit rating, because I don't know what the hit cap is. I just don't know. I wonder if they fixed the stable pet, like just disappearing your pet and making it go bye-bye. Also, my throat's starting to hurt a little bit, so I'm trying not to talk as much now. I think I've overdone it again. Poopsie. Do I have any tomes this time around? No, I just have a couple of big-ass pole arms. Sweet. Now I'm imagining my character with poles for arms. Okay. Yep. So, F you, Winterfell runners. I don't need your shit. Didn't I just cancel you already, good sir?
The winds guide you. Walk with the earth, mother.
Right-click the log.
Airyman.
Right-click what log? Okay, so let's skip those. Because I'm not waiting 500 years for those damn things to spawn. Seriously, the spawn timers in this server are kind of weird. I mean, they're not the most awful things ever, but... like, quest mobs can take like 20 minutes to spawn, and it's kind of redonkulous, man. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. What's up, Patriarch? Come here, buddy. We got to play some games, my friend. Love me them Maelstrom procs. Exorcism hits fucking hard, man. Well, to be fair, so does Lightning Bolt when it has the Storm Strike debuff. So, like, it actually, yeah, that actually hits real hard. Yeah, they're about comparable, actually. Maelstrom Lightning Bolt may actually hit even a little bit more than that, actually. Oh no, don't tell me that Art of War is gonna, like, stop being useful. Poopsie. And this is the longest stretch I've seen without that, like, proccing ever. And I do literally mean ever. Yeah, they are pretty much on par sometimes. Sometimes Exorcism is a little bit better, sometimes Lightning Bolt's a little bit better. But they are on par. And at this point I kind of like Art of War just because it's, if nothing else, it's just free damage, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna crit, why not get a free spell out of it? And for global cooldown, you know, and all it takes is basically like a global cooldown. It's, like I said, it's pretty much on par with Lightning Bolt. But then again, if I spend the global cooldown on Exorcism, I could spend it on Lightning Bolt. But then again, Lightning Maelstrom may not be proccing, so, you know, it's a separate spell, which means that I can kind of overlap them, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm kind of waffling back and forth. Exorcism hits pretty fucking hard, though. And I like the free flash of light. It's nice to have that second backup heal that's super, super cheap. Doesn't really heal for much, but super cheap.
Glad I could help.
Lagaki! Where you at, fool?
Hey, how you doing?
Mechanical Yeti, where do you go? Look at all those shiny greens, bitches. Oh, I can get rid of this at this point. This quest makes me smile. It shouldn't, because I'm a horrible person, but it makes me smile. But yeah, to the point that you had made before about, you know, living in the past sort of thing and why it stopped, you know, why you stopped playing. That's one of the things I like about Ascension, is that it's something different. It's not just your typical Wrath of the Lich King whatever, or even Wrath of the Lich King in the vein of vanilla like Primal WoW was. This is actually something, it's a completely different way to play WoW that I haven't done yet, and there's still a lot of novelty in it for me. I'm not ready to give up on it yet. Not yet, anyway. Really weird that there's just no music in Everlook. Maybe it was always like that. But again, sometimes playing this kind of just makes me want to play Rift.
What dream is
I actually logged into Rift for a little while.
Be careful.
And just kind of surveyed my surroundings and had the similar feeling of when I log into, like, retail WoW. I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? What's going on? What? Huh? Why is all of this happening again? I don't understand. And then I just kind of log out in confusion. Because my time is limited and I don't... I sound so fucking old saying this, but I don't have time to devote to relearning, you know, mechanics of a video game. My time is limited. I could be playing a video game I already know, or, you know, learning a brand new video game, not relearning something I've already tried. Or I could be trying to do something productive, like learning programming. I'm actually, you know, I'm getting that strange itch to try to do the whole, oh, I should probably, like, probably shouldn't be leaving this guacamole sitting out, huh? I don't think I actually put the thing I bought earlier. Shit. Well, I mean, it's cooked food, so hopefully it won't go bad. It will just be lukewarm. Though now I'm worried because the last time I left that baked potato sitting out, I'm pretty sure I got food poisoning. So, yeah. Might just be throwing that out. Or eating everything except that first. Should have just eaten that damn thing first just to be on the safe side. But damn it, there was panini, and then there was like something called Irish potato soup. I have no idea what it was, but it's goddamn delicious, man. It is so good. What the hell was I talking about? I got distracted by food. La da If I fly to Emerald Sanctuary for literally no reason, I will have strong words from myself. Oh, yeah, right, as I don't really have time to relearn games. Oh my god, so many beautiful herbs that I would love to actually start spawning correctly so that way they could stay that way. But I don't really have time to, like, relearn games. It's just, you know, I've been having the itch to, you know, try to attempt to relearn programming insofar as a way to actually make a game again. And I say that knowing full well that, you know, making a game is not like a weekend project. Ludum dare be damned. You know, that's, you know, it can be a several year-long process. And even then, everybody may hate it and may be a total flop because you don't know what the hell you're doing. But, you know, I've been getting that itch because I want to do something productive. And don't get me wrong, I love me some WoW, I love me some Final Fantasy XI, I love me some YouTube videos and streaming and all that kind of stuff, but like, I'm not going to be making a living off of this anytime soon. And I'm, you know, peak season's coming. And I kind of view peak season the way one, let's say, one might view the ocean if they were chained to the deck of the Titanic. You're pretty sure you know what's coming, and you're not thrilled. That's pretty much where I'm at right now. And this is my sort of annual existential crisis where I go, what the hell am I doing with my life? Why am I still in retail? Why have I not taken drastic steps to not be in retail? Yeah. Oh, fucker. That's why they told me to fly over here. That's cool. Fly to Gojit-Zan. Oh, this is gonna be a long fucking flight. Alright, so give me like 5 minutes during this flight. Let me go actually see if I can put away that food and like make sure it hasn't gone bad or something like that. I don't freaking know. But give me like 5 minutes to get food prepped because I'm actually getting hungry again anyway. So, whoops. Hit the mute button too early. Burb! God damn it, I can't do it. Still kind of burped because I'm heating up. But I brought out the baked potato, reheated it, looked at it, and I'm like, the last time I ate a baked potato from this place that I reheated, I got food poisoning. It's not their fault because I ate it like a day and a half later. It was in the fridge and I reheated it. But I'm looking at it, I'm like, I can't do it. Looks delicious, but then the other baked potato I ate was also delicious, and then it made me violently ill for like 2 days. So I'm heating up. Is really good because I was like 5 feet away and you guys couldn't hear me. I also need to get a drink, so I'm gonna be burped for another second or so. Hang on. Okay. Oof. Nom 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 yippee yo yippee yay, nom nom yippee yo yippee yay. So I have myself grilled cheese sandwich and some sort of like tomato and cheese soup McJig. I don't know, but I had this last time. It was fucking glorious. I would have never thought that having like tomato soup and adding cheese to it would actually make it like the best thing ever, but it totally is. The grilled cheese ain't that bad either. But then again, I'm a well-documented sucker for cheese. Pretty good. Pretty decent. I mean, the baked potato that they make is also fucking awesome. It's just, again, I think I have like some sort of, not Stockholm syndrome, that's not the right word. What is the right word? Or it's just I'm wary of eating it again, even though I know it's only been out. I've only had it here for a few hours. I don't think that's enough time for butter to go bad. I don't think that's necessarily enough time, but you know, I'm just like, but I can't. So I just threw away a perfectly good baked potato that looked and smelled so delicious. I just can't make myself try it. Because this time I'm not on vacation. I go back to work in like, 36 hours, so, I can't afford to be sick. Using the mouse to navigate. Go sprinkle some. Where you at? Sprinkle some. There you are. Come here, buddy. You run and have a blast. I'm just going to sit here eating grilled cheese. actually, like, put the thing in for the order to not give me... Because I have, like, all this plastic stuff that I'm not using. And I feel bad for just throwing it away, because, like... there are even people in China who would love something like this. I don't fucking know where the joke in that was going. Excuse me? Not enough memory to load this page. What? Excuse me? Hey, Twitch. Wanna be, like, you know, a broski, if you were? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, by the way. Did I just close that? Damn it. Pop motherfucking out, please. There we go. Much better. So it's 70. So, like, right here. Okay. You can't see that, but it's like the little thing past the caverns of time. Okay. Playing this one-handed, baby. Shut up. You're not funny. No, don't get me wrong, I love me some weather effects in my games, but why is it always, like, why are there always weather effects going? Especially on private servers. I heard that there's an urban legend about that being some kind of, like, quiet DRM in the code or something. I'm 99% sure that's bullshit, but... Yes, I am riding towards a cliff. Why do you ask? Okay. You go into the trash. Tanaris music, though. I hated it. I hated the Tanaris music so much. Because it's that weird sort of like ambient music that's not really ambient, it's just annoying. Not in the least of which because it's basically just noise. There's nothing... Like if it were even just dissonant somehow, then, and that's dissonant, not dissident, two very different things, then that would be one thing because that would be, you know, suitably terrifying. There's a fucking ship out there. What the fuck? There's a ship out there? What the hell is that? Since when is that a thing? Can you actually go out to that ship? Oh, I need to get myself some water walking, man. Water walking in an epic mountain. I want to go to that ship now. You want to write BRB on your tombstone. That's pretty fucking amazing, actually. Where the fuck is this? 7049. Yeah? Oh, you're like... Got it. Still using the mouse. Trying to get a little bit more used to that as an idea. Kind of testing the waters to see how much my hand can actually tolerate it now. Ow. Ouchie. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. So it's in the middle of, like, fucking Swashbuckler down here? Is it past Swashbuckler Town? I like that I'm also nearly 60, so they're just ignoring my life. I mean, yeah, that's... you're not wrong. BRB, the zombie apocalypse, you know, that is technically true. So do I use Book of Aguar? Ooh. I got that joke. Studies in spirit speaking. Ooh. That's good. That's cute. That's real. Talk 4. Where's Circle of Aquamentius? Isn't this? There we go. Sup, my homie? So, how's it going? That is not the button I wanted to press. Because I was not... There we go. That's better. Fuck it. Yes, I'm clicking like an retard. Deal with it. Wait. Aquamentius says, that Kodo sure is a beauty. Wait a minute, where are my bifocals? Perhaps you should inspect the beast for... I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to say that. That was like the one spirit thing that the Tauren and Ratchet, like all the way fuck up here. No, that's not it. Like all the way up in Ratchet, you had that quest to talk to the Tauren that was kind of like chilling on a little island somewhere. And she summoned a great water spear, and the water spear was supposed to be like, yeah, it's cool, I'll help you out. And here it's like, no, it's you know, it puts the lotion on the skin, or it gets, it basically was a nod to like, fucking the Silence of the Lambs. It puts the lotion on the skin, it gets the hose again. And I was just like, I'm pretty sure Sea Giant's not supposed to say that. Pretty sure that's not supposed to be that particular dialogue. But okay. This server has a couple of really just... Not even as, like, that's not game-breaking by any stretch of the imagination. It's just super fucking bizarre. It's like, wait, what? Wait, what? Eh. I hate this cave for dismounting me. I would like to take a moment to mention that. A moment. Pretty sure that's not right. Yeah, the quest thing on here is a little bit fucked. Not always, just every so often it just gets really confused. Alrighty, so let's take this moment to bask in the gloriousness of our, like, cheese tomato soup. It may actually be cold now. Lukewarm. Could be worse, though. Still yummy. I'm officially old. Eat my tomato soup. Oh, the Jesus is delicious.
What can I do for you?
But that's just because it has cheese.
See you soon. Great to meet you. Same.
It's the small bugs. It's the small bugs that weird me out. Nom. Nom nom nom. God, what did I do with the screen? Ah, shit, what did I do? There it is. Oh. Fuck, that does take me to Plague Lands. Poop! Just say fuck that and go to the Blasted Lands. I mean, all that stuff is actually level frickin' 51. Up. So, Quicksoul. Quicksoul, where you at? Oh, duh.
What up?
Mm-hmm. And as far as like quests that take you to different zones, this quest is actually kind of cute. Slightly pointless, but cute. Mm-hmm. Oh, the plight of somebody being jumpy. When you seem jumpy, people go out of their way to try and scare you. Why? Because people are assholes. Actually getting kind of sleepy. That should not be happening because I woke up at like 8 o'clock in the morning. But I'm actually getting sleepy now.
Hi, you're a tall one.
And again, this is what worried me about streaming, was that going on for several hours at a time. I can when I'm cracking out hardcore on something, but... Oh yeah, this cave is amazing. This is actually one of the pictures I have. One of my earliest WoW screenshots was this area in my ghetto-ass gear.
You have a great day now. Interesting.
Lincoln's Adventure.
Off and away.
Shut the fuck up with your Angoro soil. Blah, 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 blah. Yoop. 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 Oh, this cave is fucking amazing. This was something I was just like, wow, this is... Actually, do I still have it? Let me see. I have it saved somewhere. Not necessarily on here. I have it saved on a hard drive somewhere. Yeah, it's not on here, but I have it saved on a hard drive somewhere. Oh Lord, what did I just do? Why did I open? How did that open LibreOffice? Why? What a weird ass. No idea what that. Ow. Nos stuff. Of course it was. Ah, I took a picture of it. It says, the manifestation of water yells, no, it puts the tannin in the basket or it gets the mallet again. Pretty sure that's not what that's supposed to say. Like 90% certain. Oh well. I'll find it later at some point. Link! In.
Good day to you.
I did come here to fight Blaze Runner. I was on a journey and this was be the last step, but I'm no longer the hero. All that you have done, you must finish this now, not me. Provides power more vast than anything else I've ever known. It is dangerous in the hands of one with an evil heart. Ah, yes. Good old Triforce. Good old Triforce. Alright, so I think I'm going to kill Blaze Runner, turn this in, and I think I actually may call it for tonight. I don't know why eating food has suddenly made me like I'm an 85-year-old lady. Nevertheless, it kind of has, so...
Very well then.
But I like this build, though. I'm pleased with this. Wait, why am I going the fuck back to Everlook? Fuck you! I'm killing Aquamentius and there's nothing you can do about it, asshole game. Oh, I know that the entire quest chain is a giant reference. I mean, the fact that the very first quest line is something you just completely find at random, called It's a Secret to Everybody. You know, it's dangerous to go alone. Hey, take this. Lincoln, obviously. I don't want to nuke you. Yoop. Damn it, I'm completing Link's journey for him as a 6-foot-tall purple elf. See, and I will say that Lincoln is how you do references correctly. I mean, it's clearly a reference to Legend of Zelda. Very clearly a reference to Legend of Zelda, but it's not... But the entirety of the Ungoro Kratos storyline is not about this. You know, it's a quest chain that pays homage, but it's not so bad that it's just, like, shit on a stick. You know? Back up off me, Living Blaze. I have to equip the item. Yeah, please move me out of the fire. Please knock me out of the fire. Thank you. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. That. I mean, I must equip the fucking item to use it. That. The game doesn't have a fucking aneurysm now. Fucker. Give me my fucking bone snapper back, bitch. That is not the bone snapper I wanted. Why does this game do weird shit? Wow, that... Oh, I just used the heal. That's why it was suddenly so ridiculously powerful. Alright. Fuck you, Aquamentus. Or Blaze Runner, or whatever the fuck you're called. I don't know, all y'all elementals look alike. Crunch, crunch. They left me a peppermint. Wait a minute. Son of a bitch. Gotta get the golden flame. Don't forget the Triforce, dumbass. Just don't respawn, dude. I don't feel like fighting you again. Pump me into the fire again, I'm gonna be pissed. Also, I forgot this path existed until I just walked up here. I've been going around the back way that you've been kind of seeing me do. It's even a piece of the Triforce. That's a cute reference. Good job, Liz. And it's not super over the top either. Again, that's what I think this is, why this is a good reference, and like the entirety of Red Ridge was a bad reference, because that was so just overdone that it just kind of stopped being appealing. This is sort of like, hey, I'm a nerd, I get the reference. But it's still trying to exist in its own story, sort of deal. The reference isn't overtaking a narrative or something to that effect. I didn't expect where healers were gods. I mean, like, I was gonna say cataclysm, but healers were super gimped.
Honored, I'm sure.
Almost invincible behind the aura he has created by using the golden flame. Yeah, I've noticed that because it was punting me around like it was nothing. I'll be returned back to my homeland where it may be protected, never again to be used for evil. Since you did so much for me, I'd like you to have this. I fucking want that sword. I'm not... Thanks, Boomerang. I like it. I'm getting the sword. I'm also not...
Very good.
He's in good, decent gold, though. But I can't bear to fucking vendor Link's sword. That just seems a little bit uncouth. You know what I mean? Alright, so are we there, Yeti? Turn you in real quick.
Yeah, what do you want? Pleasure doing business with ya.
So I am not fucking flying to Ruthurin Village.
Time is money, friend.
Alrighty, guys. I appreciate you sticking around, but I'm going to be calling it for tonight. I kind of want to go to sleep. Hopefully we'll be seeing you tomorrow. I don't know. But if not, I will see you guys next time. Peace out.